This is Josephine with Authors Helping Authors, and today we're talking with Tracey, who is going to help us with time blocking, I guess you would call it, for your schedule. So it's helpful as a writer to have a schedule so that you can know regular times to write, so that you have the chance to get kind of into a rhythm and to create habits that will help you be more successful. And this is good not just for writers, but for anybody.
Yeah. Well, it helps you be more efficient at some of the things you want to do and kind of grouping things together that are similar, knowing how long things take you so you're not overestimating or underestimating your time. And to, even if you're not scheduled, you can not be flitting from one thing to another. You're not constantly jumping around and then feeling like you're micromanaging everything, running in every direction and getting nowhere.
Okay.
So the easiest way is to whatever calendar you're comfortable with, your computer program.
So I'm going to be using Google Calendar because I already have a G Suite account. So I might as well put all my stuff there because then it's under my writing email versus my regular email, which will be helpful, hopefully.
It is. You can share your calendars with other people. You can also just have multiple calendars going sometimes. You can do different colors for things. You can go in as much detail or as little detail as you want.
Okay, so here is my calendar. And as you can see, I don't ever use my calendars.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. It happens in my phone because I was using it really a lot when I was doing college. So last year when I took my first year course of college, I was using the phone calendar a lot. And I'm sure that I can sync that with this. It's just a matter of knowing how to do it.
Not totally sure on how to do each one. So you got to kind of look into it more.
Mm-hmm.
But the first thing about calendar blocking is to figure out how long things take you. Because sometimes we overestimate or underestimate how long it takes to do stuff. And so that will be your biggest friend. Even if you're not sure which one you want to go with right now, you can write it down on a piece of paper and say, oh, I'm doing this chore and it takes me this long. If you do that for the average thing that you're doing or in a week or even just a day, then it'll help.
Eventually you'll learn what your habits are and how long certain things take you.
Okay, so step one, that's a big one. As you go, you can look at it and say, okay, well, I know I'm going to sleep at this time. And you think, wow, that's kind of silly to put in there. Do I need to? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. You can put in active hours.
You might not say, okay, from like 10 o'clock onward to 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm sleeping. But you might say 10 o'clock bedtime.
Yeah.
So it triggers you to go, oh, hey, I'm making this commitment to get on bed on time so that I get up at like 6 in the morning so that I can, take my exercise and my jog and get some extra writing time in.
And that's the biggest thing there too, is all those things that you want to do that are part of your daily habits and you're kind of already scheduled. You can write that down into your calendar because you know what you're doing already then. If you're going to change your schedule, it can help to say, okay, I like to have 8 hours sleep. I'm going to need an hour to get ready, but now I don't have to commute. So I can change that time and adjust. Yeah, I want to add, working out at home or go taking a walk, pet for a walk. You can schedule that into your morning and then reverse engineer what time you got to go sleep. And then what time you got to get off your phone, get off all your stuff, shut everything down,
off Netflix,
and be a bit more organized that way so that you're making sure you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah,
because your physical health is important. If you're not getting enough sleep, all the other stuff can suffer. Now you're going to be starting a new schedule of working from home.
Yes.
You're not exactly sure when it is.
It starts June 1st. I'm not certain of the exact times that it will start and end during the day. I'm guessing it's going to be 9 till 4:30 I think that's a good educated guess, and I can always adjust the schedule from there. But I think that's kind of like you need to be, set up and working at 9 and then till 4:30 in the day. I'm not exactly sure when, lunch will be yet. Obviously, we will get into that more as we start setting up, because this is the first time I'm working remotely for a company.
Yes.
So that's kind of cool. This is my day job, because as much as I love writing doesn't pay me enough to work from home all by myself.
Yeah.
I wish it did, but sometimes you got to make those compromises and sacrifices. So I am going back into the work field. Yay, in this particular job after being laid off from the other job for COVID. So awesome. But I will still need time around my day job to exercise my dog, obviously have a little bit of fun, keep writing, because that is super important to me, keep doing, like, get back into doing the newsletters, the marketing, things like that, editing, the other stuff that I need to do my side hustle of writing, so that eventually it can become my full hustle. That's always the dream goal. But right now we are committing to working a not exactly 9 to 5, but thereof. Well, close thereof, and then we have to work around it so that everything else gets done, because there are also special projects that need to be done, just around the house, and cleaning and regular chores need to be done too. So if I kind of schedule it in a little bit, knowing that there is some flexibility to switch things up, and if you miss a day of something, like, stuff happens, you just kind of work to get back on track. But it would give me the ability to organize myself better and keep on track. And if I keep sticking to it, I'll build habits which will help me to keep up with the writing and stuff, because I've been away from that for almost a year now, which was kind of a bad thing, but it was slightly necessary, and I think it's made me a better writer coming out of it. But I would like to start getting back on track, and I really hope that this will help me.
It is actually really helpful to focus and get you not thinking of all the other things around that you have to do, because you've got it in your calendar. So you don't have to go into super great detail of, okay, I'm going to spend 5 minutes on this and 15 minutes on this and 3 minutes on this and 7 minutes here. You're going to say this block of time, whether it be half an hour, 15 minutes, 2 hours, is for my writing business. And maybe I'll say social media is, the weekend day that since I can post more, and the editing and just writing stuff is after work or during the week or something.
Yeah.
So you can have big topic, and then niche it down a little bit into these sorts of things. Cool. Okay, so
you just want to block off the time, because you can always make your to-do list later. And what you feel like doing may not be at that time what you decided at the beginning of the month you were doing.
Yeah. So it is scheduled.
Sometimes you go faster, sometimes you go slower, sometimes you're just not in the mood. And you would rather do a different writing task. So as long as it's blocked off, it's just a general task, which is great.
And then a lot of times, like in the past, I've done time blocking where I've had an appointment. So then around that appointment, if I had to run to the city, you've driven 45 minutes. Well, I'm going to do all the stuff in the big city
that
I can do before or after. So I kind of add in an extra, hour before or after.
Wow, we sound so countrified. Out in the big city, 45 minutes away. Yeah, it's not quite that bad. But, when you go to, there, you could do all the extra stuff because the businesses are there to do that.
Yeah.
Versus being in a small town where those businesses don't necessarily exist or have those amenities that you need from the city, but you try and do as much local as you can, but it doesn't always work out.
True. Yeah. So, you shop local, you do local things. So if I've got to go, hit the grocery store, the drugstore, check my mail, and, all the errands around my little town, I can say, well, that's just going to take me, an hour. If I walk up there and I have to wait at the drugstore, or, and all the other things. Or if I drive and I'm grabbing groceries and I'm, stuffing the car full, it might take an hour still, because I'm buying more bulk groceries, which doing less trips to the grocery store now with everything going on,
Yeah.
it might be helpful to block together everything you're doing outside of the house.
Yeah.
For
'Cause
one day a
it's
week
just
or a couple, 2 days a week that you're putting everything
more time saving.
into that. Yeah, and then that's the biggest thing too, because if you've got to drive uptown and go get groceries, and then you come home, and 2 hours later you're like, oh hey, I forgot to go to the post office and mail that, but now it's after 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I could have done that in that time slot with an extra 2 minutes, 5 minutes there.
Yeah, I think it's just a case of helping to be more organized.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Okay, so shall we start in June?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go off to June.
Now, if you were going to do a work calendar or business calendar separately or inside of this, you can, if you want to go more detailed. But you're gonna block off and pick a color for, if you're gonna do sleeping,
things.
and pick a color for, working.
Okay, so we know that on Thursdays at 7 p.m. So I'm just gonna block that off, 7 till 8.
Is this little meeting?
Is this little meeting thing. So add title. So it's gonna be our authors helping authors.
Yeah, you can do whatever comes to mind
Okay.
as you. Okay, I have an appointment. Yes.
Or we can add guests, or we can just leave it as it is.
You can choose to have reminders or not.
Yeah, I would like a reminder for it because I am terrible. So
it does repeat.
It does repeat
Weekly
on a Thursday. And my reminder, I would like that at like 6:30 because again, I am terrible. And I know it. And the task is the group Zoom meeting for authors. Okay. And you can actually put an individual list of tasks there, or you can switch that. Oh, I'm not sure how that goes. Maybe it's a bullet point. I don't know. Anyhow, and we will save because we know that's what it's going to be. So there it is. So it's
blue.
Well, I don't know why it says 6:30, but it does.
Well, that's what
because I switched it. Is that the reminder? Is that the actual thing? I don't know. No, that's the time. All right. Well, maybe it will do an automatic reminder beforehand. But anyhow, it is now there. So yay for it.
Now you can
go up to the top. Yeah, we're not doing 1 a.m. in the morning. I'm sleeping then. If I'm not sleeping then, that's pretty bad.
But you can block it off, the sleeping time during the week, so that you don't accidentally hit AM, PM mistakes.
I'm not really worried about that, but you could do that. That's a different tip, depending on what you want, right?
If you're a shift worker or if you have to remember to do things,
So let's take that off a second. So I'm assuming at 9 a.m. we're going to go to work. Woot. So I'm just going to call it work because I'm going to keep my work private because y'all don't need to know where I work at.
Yeah.
I'm just going to call it work. And it goes from, it's not going to be 1 hour. It's going to be a lot longer. It's going, I think, until 4:30. So I'm just going to block that in. I don't need a reminder. I don't really need an appointment slot. I don't need to add guests or a description. It's just like, boom, that's my work.
Now you go into there to say that it's Monday through Friday.
Yeah. Okay. So I want to edit.
And each program's different. So
this is the first time I'm using this for this particular thing. Usually I don't know, other people set up stuff and go, hey, check your calendar. And I go, okay, cool. Because I'm one of a huge group. I don't usually go, hey.
But you can have different calendars that could say, you can have your writers group.
I don't want to say daily. So I'm going to say custom. Oh, no, wait. Cancel. There was every weekday. Haha. Every weekday, Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Boom.
There you go.
Okay, so now we're going to save it.
And you can add people to it. So
now I have my work time right there. I'm not going to put, like I said, at this time, I'm not going to throw my lunches in.
No.
There's really no point because I'm just literally going to like
Yeah.
run down for a half hour, grab something to eat, say hi, pet my dog, run back upstairs.
Yeah.
You know, because she's doing doggy daycare during the day.
Yay.
This is why you have a PA, people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Who else is working from home? Another job.
Yes.
So,
So, and we kind of offset our jobs because mine's gonna be a little bit less flexible than hers.
Yeah.
So it will work out. Okay, so now we have this sorted out. Work is thrown in.
Yep.
We also have this guy in on Thursdays. Well, can I get him another color?
Yes.
I don't know if I can. Color calendars?
The one that I saw to learn all this is color coded, and mine has little pictures.
Oh.
It's not necessarily color coded, but it is pictures. So I can have, a picture come up.
But you can make it pretty, and then the picture pops up, and you go, "Oh, I remember. I'm supposed to be doing that, or or that's supposed to happen, or whatever. So and so's birthday, right?" And their picture pops up, and it's like, "Oh, you."
Well,
because I'm bad with birthdays too. I don't know.
Well, it has a calendar reminder, like just little emojis.
That's cute.
But it kind of tells you, you can see the difference and go, oh, now it's a changing different task.
Yeah. Okay, so now we know that we have that cleared off. So in the morning, I'm really gonna hate myself, but I do need to take the dog for a walk every morning before work in order to tire her out so that she's good for the rest of the morning, because my dog likes to sleep till noon anyway. But if I take her for a walk in the morning, then she will really like to sleep till noon, and that will give Tracey a chance to work on her stuff and me to work on my stuff without any interruption until lunchtime, which is very helpful. And then after lunch, you will take care of her and tire her out for an hour or something. Then she can sleep until we are. Well, she won't sleep, but she'll
play with me and hang
look
out
the window and
I can
sniff
take her
in the
for
backyard or something.
Yeah.
Until we're done work, after which we can pay a lot of attention to her. But it's important that she gets paid attention to before work as well.
And if I, take her outside and do stuff with her and keep her busy with me gardening or doing other items, which I can put into my afternoons because of this change, then while you've got her in the evening, I can go back on and do my computer stuff.
We're doing this
or mine
first. So I'm going to.
Now it's an event or out of office.
Oh, I'm out of office, dude. I am so out of office. So from 7:30 till 8:30,
it's your morning
I
stuff
have
and
to
all
get
about Beanie.
up, and well, I'm gonna probably get up at 7, but I'm saying 7:30 till 8:30. I'm going to take my dog for a walk. So this is kind of a
appointment. It's a different color then.
Ooh, let's put an appointment slot. See what it does then. Slots with duration. What? Just a single slot. I don't know what's going on there. Whatever. Walk the dog. We'll just put Beanie time. There's my puppy. More options. Okay. It does repeat. It repeats daily.
On weekends, it may or may not happen at the same time. Are you going to try to stay on the same schedule?
It's probably better if I do. It's better for my migraines, better for me. So now I have Beanie from 7:30 till 8:30, which gives me a half hour to get in, get ready for work time. And I think that's reasonable. So the in between there is get ready for work time. I'm not.
No. And it's nice. It's nice to
it is.
To keep the separation there too.
Yeah, because then you can really see it. So now I have Beanie time, and I've got work time, and I have my 7 p.m. on Thursday Zoom, authors helping authors.
That's her snoring.
Yeah, it's my dog.
It's been a sleepy day.
So writing.
Because this is the big thing here, that you're going to want time to wind down, do your thing, do your writing. You could schedule different things each day, but if you're doing an hour of writing time every day, or work associated time every day
Mm-hmm.
or writing associated. You have to figure out what you want to call it. And if you're going to give yourself half an hour, 20 minutes,
I would like to stick to at least an hour per day.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to try dictating while I'm walking in the morning with the dog. So that kind of kills two birds with one stone. But
Excellent
I do
idea.
still want to do an hour per day. So
Do you need time after work to wind down?
I'm going to need time to wind down and probably bug my dog. And have supper. So I might as well put from 5 till 6:45 or 5 till 7.
Just for this day, it's not going to work, but most days
to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
And just say, okay, it's going to be beanie, supper, beanie, supper, and
wind down, personal, whatever.
And personal. Because there are going to be days where you just want to, just.
You're out of the office, yes.
Yes, I'm out of the office. Okay, that's going to be
Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday. And we're going to save that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to just want to take time
so it's
away
a bit
from
of a different
work.
color there, so it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you need your wind down time. And if you know that that's my time, and if the family knows that that's your time.
I don't know why that doesn't go until, okay, I'm going to edit this. It's no longer a task. Edit! Because he's not doing it. Okay, you know what?
Take it away, try it again.
Yeah, we're going to take it away and try it again. Delete. Because all it was doing was its own little thing. It wasn't doing both. It was just like a half hour or 15 minutes or something. It wasn't doing the whole thing. Repeats.
Weekly on Thursday?
Weekly on Thursday. There it is. Save.
Do you want to give it a name?
Oh, yeah. It might have a name.
And you can, sometimes if you know that you're not sure what you're going to do at that time, but you're going to try to fill in the blanks at that time, you can call it, Aaron's time or.
Oh, my goodness. I can't.
Or.
Well, you could just say
personal time or chore time or time with the kids, time with, my alone time, it could be.
Okay, there it is.
Cooking, cleaning time,
Mm-hmm.
Because if you realize how long it takes you for a lot of tasks or items, then you've given yourself the time to do it. You don't have to sit to constantly stress that I've got this million things to do list and I don't know when I'm going to get them done. Well, no, you're going to get them done at that hour to that hour.
Okay.
So or, you're going to give yourself your time to get as many done as you can at that point.
So I'm thinking it makes sense. I can't put it every weekday. I can't put it daily.
Weekly on Monday, yeah.
Custom. Repeat every 1 week?
Every week. Every week. So you can say Monday, Tuesday,
Wednesday, Friday. And never. Yeah, okay.
The great thing about sharing this with other people is you could just share your writing block time or your time that you're available for clients or the time that you're available for that Zoom meeting.
I'm sure things change and, if I get asked to go somewhere or do something, it won't happen. But this way, at least, I have kind of a structured time for myself and the dog as well so that she understands what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now I have a writing block 4 days a week and I have my authors helping authors. So I do get a day off from writing, which can help sometimes, but my writing block is an hour and it's kind of open. So it gives me the chance to either outline, it gives me the chance to write scenes or edit things or revise. It gives me the opportunity to do those types of tasks, which is good.
and then you know that's your time to do it.
Yes.
You can kind of get in your mindset of it because you've had, you know, a little bit of personal time ahead of time. You know, you can kind of be on the right mood and the right mode because you've had time to wind down and get the other work out of your head, and you've had time to, you know, eat and do all the little things you need to do to be ready to do that.
Yeah.
Sets you up for a good time.
Well, it
A
also
good chance.
it gets me in a good habit, and it gets the dog in a good habit where she's like, okay, I've had my time. After that, being 8 o'clock, so I'm gonna throw from 8 till 10 o'clock. We'll put 9:45. That works fine, and we'll say like personal / beanie, so that we might go for a walk, we might hang out, we might watch Netflix, I might read a book. This is my personal time.
Snuggle time.
Or if I'm having a really great writing thing that I just want to continue, I can continue in that time. So I don't feel guilty about taking up other time.
Yeah.
So let's go with that. More options. We're going to throw that
Monday to Friday.
Monday to Friday.
Or would you do weekends as well?
Let's just do it Monday to Friday at this point, and then we'll configure weekends afterward because those are kind of special. Okay, so that kind of takes up my entire day. So it's sort of blocked in, and like we said, this is all movable, interchangeable, nothing's set in stone.
Now, if you were to be somebody who's working from home and you have to put like those tasks into your daily, you know, let's say that work hour, 8 hours work time or 7.5, then you could write inside there your task list.
Yeah,
there are some apps that, you know, inside this you can add.
Well, I'm sure that I
time.
could throw into here and, you know, put a task in there or something.
You could, yeah.
Don't do that. But I'm sure I could put like a task into there or something.
Something within something, yeah.
Oh!
There you go.
Oh, it's got to be red.
It's important. Tangerine seduction, yes. There you go.
Is it tangerine? There's no red? Okay, we need red.
Yes.
Red. Because that's the color
like
of the place I'm working at.
And it's important too. Don't forget this. Don't mess up. Don't forget.
I mean, that kind of looks like startling, but it is their theme color, so we're going to go with that.
Yep.
That's cool.
There you are. Now you know how you did that. And, you know, that's color time of.
Right click. I'm having such fun.
There.
Boom. And that's in the blue is personal or beanie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now the weekends are gonna be different.
That could go every kind of weekend too. But anyhow, we'll go from there.
If you stay in the habit of your meal times, you know, if you're when, you know, people were able to go to the gym or people were able to do outside activities.
Those were the days when I was 20 pounds lighter.
But you could figure it into that time period, and then you can.
The rowing machine. Oh. Yeah, you would figure it into that time period, and you would put into your schedule, right? I mean, obviously, maybe when the gym comes back, maybe I'll do gym stuff. Maybe I won't. I don't know.
But you're combining your gym stuff and your pet stuff, and possibly even your writing for the morning one, which is a huge deal.
Okay.
So combining stuff and doing stuff together that fits together or works together is very important as well.
I think because Bean is going to be tired in the morning, I would like to take Saturday mornings to write. So I'll probably go until like 12. And I will put that as writing time.
Now for me, since I'm doing a little bit more with Beanie during the daytime, and oh, you're so cute, then I'm going to be doing Saturdays working in that time. I'm going to have to do my Saturdays are just like another weekday for me, so to speak, of work.
So I'm going to throw that in as a writing block, and we're going to make that purple to match my other writing. So now it's all color coded and pretty.
And that helps me know what you're doing So I know that I'm quiet during that work time. I'm not bugging you during that writing block time saying,
Yeah.
oh, did you see this?
And I'm not bugging her saying, oh, hey, look at Facebook.
As well, yes, and you're not checking out Facebook, as well as if you had something that you wanted to be doing with your writers group, or you needed to be launching something, we can schedule that and know what each other's doing. And it's important to know what each other's doing, because if we discuss it ahead of time, we know, oh, hey, this is the time we're going to do our projects. And we don't get up in the morning and go, hey, we're doing all these things right now. Let's go. And I'm like, hey, I kind of had other things planned.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I need to hire you back as my PA.
I've still been doing your PA stuff.
Yeah, well, we're going to switch up a little bit. You've been doing a little bit, but
not enough.
Not what we need. So I'm throwing a meeting on Saturday during lunch.
That's a good idea.
If that works for you, between 12 and 2, when we have lunch in there at some point, because there might be a little personal stuff in there, make lunch, deal with the dog, talk, do a little PA, just say, okay, Saturday, we meet up, we discuss what
our calendars, you discuss your calendars, your events that you've got to do,
discuss the social media, discuss what tasks need to get done during the week.
What's working, what's not working.
Yeah. So if we have like a quick little meeting kind of scheduled each week, then we can go with that.
And instead of bugging you going, I'm mad at you about this and you didn't do that and you didn't do that, I can bring it up then and say, hey, you know what, we've got to work on this, because obviously neither of us is getting this done.
Yeah, it totally repeats every Saturday. So that will kind of be helpful. So we're going to put that in lavender. And because it's in lavender, it has to do with the writing.
Yeah.
And then from 2 until 5. So this is chores, garden, and household projects. So I'm giving 3 hours on Saturday from 2 till 5 o'clock.
Oh, that's excellent. The grass gets cut.
The grass gets cut. I can do some cleaning. We can do some gardening, or if we want to clean something in the house, whatever project we want to do that day. 3 hours a week.
It's helpful.
I think
your muscles.
Will work very well. And if it's too hot, we can always shove it back into the evening, right?
True.
So we can revise it as needed, but as long as we put those 3 hours on a Saturday, so I'm scheduling it in weekly on a Saturday, save, that's gonna go yellow because it's chores, this and following events. Okay, so now on Saturday, you can see we've got we take care of Beanie. Here, if I move us a moment. We take care of Beanie. I've got my writing time, she'll be up. We can have our lunch together
and figure out what we're doing.
If we don't have a plan already. We do our PA meeting. We can discuss what chores we're doing or whatever needs to be done for the day. This is weekly chore time. And if it's too hot, like I said, we can shove it from like 7 till 9 or 7 till 10 or 6 till 9.
You could say chores, gardening, household projects, or errands. Because if we got to go hit the city and grab a bunch of things for us and for others that we drop off to.
Yeah,
then you could fit it in that time slot if it's a rainy day or if it's a hot day.
Oh, go back. Hello.
If you add to it.
Home projects, errands. So okay, so and then I'm going to put in, I guess we'll do Beanie Supper personal.
So you could just add that as another extension. Instead of having to add a new one, it's the same one, you just add more days to it.
Okay.
If you can, if it'll let you do it.
We'll have to do custom.
Just add in Saturday.
Okay, so we save that in. Okay, so now we've got that in there, and then the evening, I'm just going to say it's personal. Because if I don't do it during the day because it's too hot, then I can throw that into the evening, and I've got the afternoon as personal. we're just gonna throw it as personal time.
Because you might want to chat with people. You might want to work on your own stuff. You might feel like crap and want to have a nap. You might want to just chill because you worked hard all week.
Keep doing that. Every Saturday. Save. So now that is scheduled in. Now Sundays are a special day. I suppose this should be like every day of the week.
I know, you're going to be like, I want to sleep in.
I want to sleep in. Oh, it says daily. Okay. So it's, yeah, okay, never mind. It says daily already. It's just that that's May 31st. So if I go over here to, whoa, I went to July. If I go to the 8th, there we are. We got Sunday right there. So yeah, it looks all fantabulous. So now from 9 till 12, that's church. And it repeats every Sunday.
Now, right now, we don't physically go, but
they still have online services,
yeah.
And it's important to keep up your faith. And I mean, other people have different things that they would put in there. Put in whatever you would like. You meditate, you do yoga, you don't. You go to church, you don't go to church, you do you. This is me, this is what I do. So that is going to go in there. We should make it a color. Flamingo! There you go. Reverend Harry, you're in flamingo. Anyhow, I'm sure he would get a kick out of that one. So church is now flamingo. And then I'm saying the rest of the day is for like visiting, personal, playing with the dog. If I choose to write something, great. If I don't, I don't.
So you can leave it unscheduled as to
I'm
whatever
going to
comes up
leave
and
it
whatever happens.
unscheduled.
Because when we're able to be visiting and everything's good, sometimes, you know, we'll do the social distancing visiting for now, and someday it might be back to the way it used to be where we can do family time.
Exactly. So it just depends how things change up. So now we have the fantabulous schedule. I'm planning to be in bed around 10.
Earlier, if you feel like it, you have that opportunity.
And be up at 7. So that gives me time to
let me see your
have a proper sleep.
Yeah, it's personal time. So if you wanted to be anytime after 8 o'clock, you're in bed if you want to be.
Yeah, you have that chance to go to bed if you need to. If you need to have the extra time to sleep, or you can be up and just, you know, watching Netflix, reading a book, or writing a little bit more, or playing with Bean, whatever we need to do. Right, Bean?
Yeah. Are you going to schedule in your work that you do for social media and all your stuff? Or are you passing that off to me?
Hi. Hi, Tracy. I would like to pass some of that off to you. Yeah, so...
Why you stop share? Oh, okay.
See?
No, it is important because there are
my
times.
Little PA. Don't worry, I'm going to pay you. Woo, woo. You need money. I need to have things done because I have a new book coming out. And I need to get my other book done. And as much as I enjoy my social media and stuff like that, it's time to kind of pass it on because I have to do what will make the money. And social media gets the word out to get the money. But if you don't have the product made, you can't make money either.
So you'll oversee it and do some of it, and I'll oversee it and do some of it.
Well, that's why we're doing the PA meeting on Saturday to say, okay, where are we at? What can you do? What can I do? And pass it back and forth, right? Hi. Oh, come here. Hop. Hop. Oh, I think she's gonna come around. Come on.
Good.
Okay.
We love you.
So,
and that's another thing to do too, because if you find that you have right now all the kids are Zoom, you know, doing their meetings and their classes virtually, and you know the children have taken over the schedule that you thought you had. So your 9 to 5 job from home might become a 9 till noon. Somebody else takes over for the afternoon, or you take over for the afternoon when somebody else took the morning shift. And then you do your evening work because that's what you got to do to make the hours, get the hours in.
Who said you could go on the table? Just because I have tea up there does not mean you are getting it.
Oh, but
no.
And so sometimes you have to adjust your schedule and find the hours and then still get all the kids' stuff done, all your stuff done, all the housework done.
Stop.
So you're not used to changing up your schedule or doing these things differently.
Yes, thank you.
And so if you're sharing this with your partner or like your housemates or the kids or everybody in the family or everybody that you're helping and taking care of outside the home, we drop stuff off and that sort of thing. So they know this is the day we're going to go do errands. So if you need stuff done, I'm picking it up for you on Saturday. So don't tell me Monday that you need stuff.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be a little frustrated when I told you
Saturday's the shopping day.
Yeah.
Because Monday we're at work.
Yeah.
Or, whatever we're doing, right?
Just because I'm working from home doesn't mean that the work doesn't need to get done.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm working from home doesn't mean that I have all day to get the whole house perfect and you're working outside the home. So you're wondering why I didn't get everything perfectly done. But there's all the things that I got to do. It can help a lot of family household arguments when you know what each other's doing.
Which is why I respect that you have a different client. And I was like, does Saturday work for you to take 2 hours just to talk about this sort of stuff?
Yeah.
And then we kind of know what schedule each of us is on and we can work from there.
Yeah, because I'm going to have to adjust to your schedule to make sure that I'm paying attention to the dog more. Just like I did when you weren't here.
Yeah. Because when I came back, I kind of took over taking care of her, so to speak.
Yeah,
she's my dog.
Well, you're the main go-to for her.
Mm-hmm.
She does that, so that's cool. That works for me. I'm like, oh, hey, And so if you're not, then I step up. But
this way we share responsibility and we know who's doing what when.
Yeah. And so then I can share this with my clients and say,
I'm blocking in time to work on your stuff on this day, but I have another client that I'm working on this day.
Mm-hmm.
So don't expect me to get back to you unless it's an emergency, because on this day I have other work, right?
Yeah.
And you can kind of work that way. And that helps a lot, because if I had a whole bunch of clients versus just one workplace, I would be like, okay, this time for you, this time for this time for you, this time for this time for this person. And it kind of balances out. And then you also know, for billing, how many hours did you really work?
Mm-hmm. And yeah. And so if, let's say, I have one day where I have to do Zoom meetings and I want to actually do my hair and look presentable and not be in my pajamas,
you would schedule it in.
You might do four Zoom meetings in a day, and then to set up yourself best.
Well, you're setting yourself up for success, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main goal out of it, right?
And you're communicating with yourself and other people that this is the time this gets done.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't work, then you change it. And you say, hey,
there will be days where you get totally derailed and you have to do something else. But you just take it in stride and then you get back on track the next day.
But by having a set time to have your meetings, like we're doing Saturdays.
Mm-hmm. Having boundaries again.
Yeah. Oh, that's a huge one. This one can set up your boundaries.
Say, okay, I'm just letting you know that I am sharing my current calendar with all of my clients, and so that you know approximately how much time I'm spending on your work, so you kind of know how much you're going to get billed to subconsciously, and so that you understand when the best time to call me to work with your work is. And if you need any changes or anything like that, then email me and I'll get back to you. Because and you don't even have to necessarily give them the power to change when you're working on stuff, but that way they know you are dedicating time to their stuff.
Yes.
You are working on it. And the best time to switch something would probably be, the day before to email you, right? Or the day of when you're working on stuff, rather than, the day after.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of gives them that heads up, and it gives them that boundary of, hey, and from 5:30 onward, unless it is an absolute emergency, do not call me because I'm out of the office. Yeah, and I can email my calendar to her. She can email hers to me. We can look them over and go, okay, something changed, or whatever's going on, or do you have a problem if I do this then? And it'll be like, no, perfect. I'll take the dog for a walk. You're on your own.
And I know
Or we need to get
texting you a
this,
dozen times to have stuff done, or,
we need to do this project. Are we doing it this day, or are we doing it a week later, or what are we doing? When are we doing it?
and the nice thing is that if we know we've got a project on Saturday and we go do errands or shopping, you've got your list of what you're going to do ahead of time, so you know what to pick up ahead of time for that project. Instead of going, hey, we're going to work on our project, and go, oh yeah, by the way, we still need
so many screws,
supplies.
so many nuts. Don't forget the paint. Did you,
I
remember where you put the
that.
shovel?
I didn't prep that. Oh yeah. So
Oh,
you're running in
yeah.
circles trying to find stuff when you don't need it. It's a great way to communicate what you're doing when you're doing it, and to people. Once you tell them, like if you were on sharing this calendar with other members of the family outside the home, outside of this place, let's say you're still living where you were at school and you're working,
then they would know when I'm available, or if I intended to visit at some point,
or why you didn't reply to their text messages and phone calls. Because sometimes you're like, I'm on a Zoom call right now. I am not going to be doing.
I really enjoy that because
phone calls.
sometimes they'll be like, I texted you this morning. I'm like, that's cool. I've been in class for 8 hours because I have a 9-hour class day, and I wasn't checking my messages because
you're
kind of busy.
Yeah.
So it just depended what day, because some days I'm like text back right away because I had like one class.
Yeah.
So big deal that day, right? But when you've got a whole bunch of classes in a row, you're busy. You got to go. So, and that's gonna start again in September. But
then this work hours schedule thing too. If you know, let's say you're on a different time zone schedule for what you're working, then people be like, oh, hey, you're working 9 to 5, aren't you? And you'll be like, actually, it's
but it's
3 to 7
Eastern Standard Time. Or I'm working, BC time, like Pacific Standard Time or Mountain Time or whatever, because sometimes when you work from home, you're not working in your time zone. Yeah. And when it comes to September, when classes start up again, I'm going to have my September schedule, and I'm going to have to hopefully, fingers crossed, I get hired for part-time from this co-op, and I'll have that schedule, and then I've got my writing schedule on top again, and then I need to study as well, and it's going to be busy, and because I know that I'm going to try and get ahead as much as I can in the writing, so dedicating 7 to 10 hours a week exclusively to writing is a big deal.
So if you're scheduling in your newsletter time, scheduling when your email time, social media, text messages and phone messages and all of that stuff at, let's say I'm going to look at them at 8 a.m. and then 11 and then 5 o'clock. So you're not sitting there going, oh, I might have an important message coming in. It really will save you a lot of time. Worried about running, and then I'm distracted and what was I writing about?
Yeah.
And I'm distracted and which client work am I doing? Or
then you're
minimizing
constantly being distracted. In today's day and age, we're all distracted. We all are getting the attention of goldfish. So, our attention spans are not what they used to be.
So
it's kind of important to cut off the distractions, especially when you have partially ADHD, I'm sure. And, then you can focus on what you need to focus on.
And it helps you get in the zone of writing when it's writing time.
Building those habits.
And it helps you be, focused on this sort of work during this time block.
All right, so this is Josephine Baintma, and this is Authors Helping Authors, and we had special guest Tracey today, who helped us with time blocking. So hopefully you gain some tips that will help you in your writing career or just for personally scheduling your time. So subscribe, comment. If you have a particular topic that you need help on or a question, leave it in the comments. Let me know. Or come and join us on the Zoom meeting and ask it personally. See you later.